Hi, everyone. Adam Odell here, Chief Investment Strategist of Money and Markets. I'm here with our research analyst, Matt Clark, who's also the provider of tons of great content on moneyandmarkets.com, as well as our YouTube channel here with the marijuana market update. We're starting a new series today called Ask Adam Anything. We hope that you would write in and give us all the questions you have on the top of your mind. I'll answer anything and everything. So Matt's going to, in addition to providing some great content, he is keeps his finger on the pulse on our email inboxes to figure out what burning questions are most important to our subscribers and our readers and our followers. And so he's going to tick through some of those questions today, and I'm going to try to answer them quickly in kind of a quick fire fashion. And we do encourage you to write in and leave us some questions. So let's get started, Matt.
Very good. And I'm going to, with this premise, I'm going to try to stump you at least once a week. Not yet, but I'm going to find questions that are going to be kind of stumpers for you. By the way, if you do want to send a question to Adam, you can do so feedback@moneyandmarkets.com. We'll try to flash the email address down below here, but that's feedback@moneyandmarkets.com. First question for you, and this is very near and dear to me as the host of the Marijuana Market Update. How do you feel about investing in cannabis stocks?
Cannabis stocks. So yeah, I'm definitely bullish on cannabis stocks as an industry. I mean, never have we had, I say never, but there's not been, it's a rare opportunity to have an industry that's held back artificially by legislation. And it's a foregone conclusion it's going to happen. So some of that now, especially post COVID recovery, is priced into the stocks. But I was actually doing deep research into cannabis companies back in 2018 and 2019. Obviously, that was a bad time for the market, for the cannabis market specifically, and they got hit with the vaping scandal and whatnot. But I actually did a presentation in October of 2019 at an investment conference where I put together a portfolio of 20 picks, and 5 of them were cannabis companies. I look at those as kind of like your long shots, your call options. You have a lot of convexity, meaning that you're risking more in those cannabis stocks, but your ability to make 200, 500, 1,000% in those stocks is much greater than other types of stocks. So you really want to take a diversified approach. You want to don't put all of your eggs in one basket. This is kind of there's going to be many winners and many losers. A lot of zeros. So it is speculative capital that you want to put into cannabis stocks, in my opinion. But just to give you an example of those 5 picks, one of them's up 270%. One of them's down 80-some%. So that's going to be could be a zero. And then one of them is up, about 1,200% since October of 2019. So again, a lot of dispersion between cannabis stocks individually. Matt, you do a great job of picking apart the individual companies. So I would just say definitely, you need exposure to the cannabis market. You just need to be diversified and pick your spots.
And shameless plug, the Marijuana Market Update is on each and every week on our YouTube channel on Money and Markets. Dovetailing into politics a little bit, what impacts do you think the Biden administration, the Biden presidency has on the market now and going forward?
Okay, so this was really interesting. This was an example of where a lot of the narratives that were in the media ahead of the election last November were dead wrong. So first of all, a lot of people thought that if Biden got elected, that would be bad for business and regulation. Well, stocks went up. Stock market investors don't like uncertainty. So with a certain outcome, no matter who won, the market went up because we knew what we were looking forward to for the next 4 years. Also, if you look historically, whether it's a Democratic or Republican in the White House, it typically does not make a huge difference to stock returns. So I kind of look at that as a non-factor. Looking at some of the narratives as well, I mean, one of the narratives against Biden was that he was going to dismantle and basically put extinct the old, dirty oil and gas industry. And while he is going to be more restrictive to new fracking leases and things like that, the oil, it's interesting because if you look at the major U.S. sectors, energy sector is up about 125, 130% since he was elected. And it was interesting because everybody said that the oil and gas would go away if he was elected, and it would only be EV, electric vehicles. And lo and behold, the energy sector is the number one top performing sector. The second top performing sector is the industrial sector, basically the industrials and materials. So what that tells us is that investors are anticipating, it may come through this week, the $2 trillion infrastructure spending package. So it's certainly he wants to build back better, and he's going to spend a lot of money on an infrastructure plays. So industrial stocks, material stocks. I'm super bullish on commodities right now. I think we have a podcast coming out when we give some commodity picks. But so certainly, there are some themes within the Biden administration. But I guess my point on that question is don't read too much into the narratives. If you had sold energy stocks or shorted energy stocks because on the day that Biden got elected, you would be hurting poorly. So don't read too much into the narrative.
Exactly. And don't necessarily allow politics to drive how you invest.
Absolutely.
It's there, but it's not there. There are other stronger factors involved. This is an interesting one. This is kind of coming from the more Reddit angle. Should I go all in on Dogecoin?
Is it Dogecoin or Dogecoin? I don't know. But
I don't know. I'm going to say Dogecoin. I think that's how my kids pronounce it. So I'm going to go with that. It sounds good.
Right, but the mascot is a dog, right? Yeah. So that's a funny question. So first of all, I use my wife, who does a ton of reading and popular culture type reading, and reads nothing about finance or investing, has no interest in it. So when she asked me about, what's going on with GameStop, or if she ever were to ask me about interest rates, everybody's talking about interest rates, I would know that a financial market story has leaked into the broad mainstream. And so she did ask me recently about this cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, however you say it. So that tells me that, I don't know, it's probably reached a point where everybody's talking about it and it's not a great investment. As a trader, I used to trade currency pairs, Forex, spot Forex, and not necessarily on a fundamental level, but on a technical level. And so to me, it's hard for me to dog anybody, and no pun intended. No pun intended. Yeah, right. That wants to trade a market, even if that market is kind of purely speculative. Okay, but you have to realize it comes down to position sizing. When you put money into an investment, you're expecting return of your capital and some satisfactory return on your capital. That's what the Dodd-Frank school is saying. If you cannot be certain that you're going to get your capital back, then you are speculating. So those are two different endeavors, investing versus speculating. And I have nothing against speculating. I mean, you can make a lot of money speculating. You can make a lot of money trading. You just have to realize that you may not get all of your money back. And in fact, I would say be conservative enough, position size enough, small enough, conservatively enough, that if your speculation, if that one individual speculation, if that one trade goes to zero, that you have not permanently or demonstratively injured your account. So, I have a hard time saying don't get into crypto just because, it's a great trading market. It's a great speculative market. And a lot of people made a lot of money. Just realize that it's not an investment market as I see it. So I would put, small amounts in, either use stop losses or just realize that thing could go to zero. And as long as you haven't put too much money into it, you should be okay.
Last question. Here's your stumper. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke or Pepsi? All right. Somebody asked Coke or Pepsi.
Somebody asked that, yes.
Yeah. So I don't drink soft drinks. So I can't.
Oh, man.
I can't tell you which. Well, what I will say is the business model is fabulous. Anytime you can take water and add some carbon dioxide and some sugar at a very low commodity cost and wrap a brand name around it with a huge moat and tons of market share. And I obviously, Warren Buffett loves, that type of business. But what I will say is, we haven't invested in Coke or Pepsi, so I don't have necessarily an opinion on those two stocks. We could rate them. I haven't looked at them recently. But in our flagship monthly newsletter, Green Zone Fortunes, we did identify a company that's in the beverage industry, kind of a competitor of Coke and Pepsi. Not necessarily in the soft drink space, but in the sparkling, bubbly water space. So it's healthier. It's got a millennial following, so it's kind of got to breathe some new life into the beverage space. And but yeah, I mean the return on assets and equity, the profit margins in that business, it comes down to name recognition and gaining market share. And so that's a company that we recommended and is doing quite well in the monthly newsletter because of its business metrics, not necessarily because I drink the drink, but it certainly has a cult following and tons of great metrics behind it. So Coke or Pepsi, I'll have to dig into those stocks, but otherwise, I mean, I would definitely go with a sparkling water play instead. So you sign up for Green Zone Fortunes, it's still in our buy range. You can get access to that, but yeah, interesting.
And that's what I have question wise. Those are your four.
All right, sounds good. Well, we try to make this quick and to the point. So just like Matt said, send us your questions. You can ask me anything. I'll try to answer almost everything. And we'll do a little bit of this each week. And Matt, keep a list of the most pressing questions subscribers have and readers have. And we'll do this again. It was fun.
Sounds great. That email address is feedback@moneyandmarkets.com. So Adam, I'll let you sign off.
Sounds good, Matt. Take care. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.